Every- Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this planet we call Earth. And today is a special day. And you're probably wondering why, because I say that every single day, time, right? Well, look, if you woke up, it's special. And Jaden, I don't know what time of day it is when you watch this, but you, this whole thing exists because of you. Um, Daddy in Dubai, day 50. And 50's specifically special for me because 2 weeks before my 50th birthday, I didn't know how I was going to get here, right? And against the odds, I believed I could make it happen. And 2 weeks before my 50th birthday, praise the Lord, I made it. I did what I said I was going to do. And thanks to that, I'm here and I made it to day 50. And look, the reason I've got Auntie Sue on the call here today, and thank you for coming on, Sue.
Pleasure. Hi, Jaden.
So, Jaden, in life, you meet people, right? And you're only 10, so you might meet them when you're older, but God will always put people in your life to improve your situation, right? And look, Auntie Sue and Uncle Kalpesh are two individuals that when I'm with them, I'm a better person. And someone said to me, "Why are you staying? Why are you paying extra money?" And I said, "Look, to pay that little bit extra every single day, the benefit I get from it is I get to be a better person." And look, there's been many situations, Sue, um, on this journey over the last 50 days. I mean, if I look and reflect on from the day I arrived to where I am today, I can't put into words where I am and where I thought I'd be. Right? They're two different places. What I imagined was here, and where I actually am is off the Richter scale. Right? You'll find out. Uh, I could say that the whole world is going to find out. I'm not going to announce it on this YouTube channel um, because it's too big. It'll be a global announcement with what I have planned. Right? And look, there's your own plan, and then there's God's plan. So look, Sue, from the bottom of my heart, I got to say to you, thank you for being who you are. Because, and I thought I wouldn't cry, but it's funny that when I got my coffee today, the guy brought a box of tissues, and he's never ever brought a box of tissues,
Oh,
but today he did. And I want to thank you, Sue, from the bottom of my heart, for being
oh,
who you are and being a stand for doing the right thing in the right way at the
amazing.
right time, because not everyone can do that. And you've held me to account on so many occasions, even when we're in the UK. But I think what you've done for me here in Dubai is even greater. So thank you.
Thank you, Dizzy. Really want to just say thank you for the beautiful acknowledgement. And it's really great to be here having a conversation with you because I really miss you. We've come to Thailand for a few weeks, and this is our third week now. And yeah, it's just been weird because you're living in the same building as us and it just feels like family. So it's been really nice. And as you know, at the end of the day, we're all creating each other. Do you know what I mean? So there's maybe things that that significant things that I've done that you feel like I've been a stand for you, but also for me, it feels good to have like my younger brother around and
Yeah.
somebody that I can talk to and just share, a bit of fun with, a bit of, we like doing a bit of musty here and there. So it's just been nice to do that with you. So I acknowledge you for bringing that energy,
Yeah.
into our space in Dubai. So yeah, thank you. We're all creating each other, Dizzy.
Mm. Look, Jaden, the message I want to give you for today is, we can all have dreams, and there are people that will come into your life, right? And you have to become aware of that. There are people that are genuinely want you to succeed, and sometimes their advice may go against what you think you need to do, right? And Sue, as a friend, as an older sister, you're also a parent, right? And
Yeah.
being a parent is another ball game, right? Unless you're a parent,
Yeah.
you don't know. When you look into
Yeah.
your own eyes, I mean, look,
Yeah.
one of the reasons this series was created was because I wanted to speak to Jaden every day. And for whatever reason, it wasn't possible. But out of that
Mm.
impossibility, this series was created, right? So now, as his digital daddy, whether you
Yeah.
watch this today, whether you watch this tomorrow, whether you watch it when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, this has been created so that you can watch it anytime, right? You get to see your daddy, the digital daddy, which you cannot get
Mm.
unless YouTube crashes, right? So it's
Yeah.
on every day. And look, as a parent, Sue, I know you've
Mm.
had your challenges, right? You want to share
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, just, my daughter's 20 now, and, we've had our journey of learning to coexist together, going through her teenage years. When they're going through the teenage years, I guess, they want to, they're right. They know what they're doing. They want to believe that they know what they're doing, and have all the resources that they need. And we know as parents, I guess, that we've kind of been there, done it, and we want to protect them, or we want to save them from hurt and pain and all of that. And actually, for me, it's not been about having her understand what I'm saying. Is actually about me understanding that she is her own individual person and has her own individual journey, and she has to learn however she will learn, right? Like if she wants to take the hard road and not listen to me, that's okay. And I got to be okay with that. That whatever happens is that, she will learn from her mistakes, her challenges to become who she needs to become. And I can't stop her from that. And she doesn't need protecting from that, because if she doesn't learn those things, she won't become the person that she needs to become who she needs to become, you know? And what I want to say about that is that even with you, Dizzy, for example, like, I was like, when I'm calling you out on stuff, like, I'm thinking in my head, like, how's he going to take it? Is he going to get offended? Because, people don't want unsolicited advice or coaching or whatever that is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually, sometimes people that love you and care for you are going to give you that, whether you like it or not, right? And it's for you to look at, not why is this person telling me this, is that who is the person that is telling me this, because there would be a reason why I would say what, like, I wouldn't normally say stuff, right? Because I understand and I'm aware and all of that, right? Like I would understand what what not to do. Like I wouldn't generally give unsolicited advice or coaching, whatever, right? Like that's because I've learned that it, one, nobody takes heed of it. It doesn't change anything unless the person's ready. But there might be a time when I want to be a stand, when I feel that there's something I feel is not going to go well, and I just need to say it. And if I didn't say it, then I would never forgive myself for not saying it. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm,
that day when I was sending you the message, like it could have gone to you and say, "Oh, why are you sending me that? Why, like I've had that with my own daughter, isn't it? Why are you saying this? Why are you saying that?" But it's for you, and especially for you, Jaden, is like really understand who is the person that is sharing this message with you? Who is the person that is telling you XYZ? Not why are they telling you? Who is the person? Because there'll be lots of reasons. We always think that we have a reason why we should tell people how to live their lives, right? But actually, who is that person for me? There's somebody who cares about you. They're a stand for you. They want the best for you. They, yeah, they want you to win in life. They're on your side. They're that kind of person. And then you look at, okay, do I trust them? Do I love them? Do I care for them? Like all of that. And you got to look at all of that before you just say, no, stop telling me what to do, stop telling me how to live my life, stop. Because it's really important to know that we can't do life on our own. There's always, we need people to move forward in life, whether we like it or not. You can't cut people off, especially your family, because they're always going to be your family. And when things don't go how you want it to go with your friends, with your community, your family will always be there. And that's something that I have learned in a very hard way, right? But I've learned it now, and I love that my family are there. I love my family. You know, my mom and I didn't have a brilliant relationship as I was growing up and going through my teens and, you know, my 20s. But when I had a child, I started to understand like what she's gone through. She was a mum of three kids, and we all went and done our own thing. And, you know, we weren't great with her. We didn't respect her. We didn't acknowledge her, all of that. And I've learned now that I learned what not to do, right? As a parent from both of my parents. And you will probably be learning this from both of your parents of how not to do life when your child comes along. But you also get that, you know what, I can teach my parents how to be with me, you know, how I am with my daughter, how loving I am, how caring I am, how much time I give her, how much energy I give her, how much I will not take any shortcuts when it comes to her. If she needs something, she wants something, I am going to do my utmost as long as it's reasonable to, you know, give her the support, love, and care that she needs. And my parents have learnt that on a level. They weren't taught that, you know, and they've learnt that. They've learnt how to say, I love you. They've learnt how to say, how to hug me and how to acknowledge me. Like my mum and I have got such a beautiful relationship now. Um, and likewise, it's also important to let go of any attachments that you have to people. But my point is that even now, like my mom, you know, as my mom, she'll always say, you know, it's my duty to tell you because I'm your parent and I'm like over 50 now. Okay. But she'll still say that. And you know what? I don't need to make her wrong. I don't need to make my mom, who's in her 70s, wrong about her opinion. And the world will always have opinions about everything. You just got to know is whose opinion do you value and who are those people for you? Okay. And they will always be, or they will always be there, always be a stand for you. Um, because if you keep cutting people off, you know, you cut your family off, you cut your friends off, you cut people off who care about you and stand for you, then who will you have? And you will continuously be doing that all of your life, right? Who will you have in your world? That you, we all need a core set of people in our lives. Yeah. And then new people come along who will, you know, they say people come to your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? And those people always come along, right, Dizzy?
Yeah,
And it's about taking from them. Well, it's give and take, isn't it? They will learn from you and you will learn from them. Take what you need and then, you know, take the lesson and then you kind of move on. But you can't do life alone without people. And you need community, you need people, you need family. And it's really important that we nurture those relationships. You know, like for me, my mom is in her 70s now. And let's say she lives to 100. She's got 30 years left. That's 30 Christmases, right? Or 30 Diwalis, right? And when you think about it like that, that's probably not a lot, right? I'm living in Dubai, she's in England. So how many Diwalis am I going to spend with her realistically in the next 30 years? So what happens now is when I look at the bigger picture and the trajectory of my life with her, it's like I want to make those moments as special as possible with her. I want to create, you know, the best memories for her. So now, you know, she wanted to go to Egypt. She never says she wants to go anywhere in life, right? She never asks for anything because she's happy. She's very independent. She's still work. She does, you know, but she was like, oh, she was watching a program the other day and she saw some pyramids and then she thought, oh, it'd be good to go there. And then my stepdad said, oh, your mom said she would love to go to Egypt. And I'm like, oh, amazing, let's go. So, you know, we went and I got to create that memory with her and she got to put a little timestamp of going to Egypt and seeing the pyramids and experiencing that, you know. So me, her, and my daughter, the three of us went, three generations. And it was such a beautiful experience. You know, made loads of memories and really didn't like Cairo, but you know, if you don't go, then you don't know. So we went. But I want to be able to create many, many more. You know, I'm here right now with Kalpesh and his mom, and it's her 80th birthday tomorrow, right?
Wow.
So we're in Thailand, and you know, we want to make that amazing for her. She's always wanted to go to Thailand since she was in her 30s, I think, when she was working with Avon, and she never got to go. And now Kalpesh is here creating that moment with her and, you know, making those memories just really special for her.
Wow. That's a beautiful, beautiful story, Sue. And look, you said some really important things, right? That life is a journey and the relationships that you have are going to be nurtured as they go along because there's no
Mm,
manual on how to become a parent, right? Our
yeah,
parents just did what they did based on what they know. And
yeah.
we're living in an amazing time where I, I don't know if personal development and all of this information was available back then for our parents, but I know for me, I didn't realize personal development was a thing until I was like 26, 27. And then that's the study of human behavior was a really a big interest for me because I always wondered why things happen the way they do. And it's really
Mm,
funny. On the first guest, which was Pekka, Black Blockchain Papa, I mentioned to him that I saw that Jaden had been his on the history on the YouTube channel was to do with black holes and what happened before
mm.
the Big Bang, right? And when I spoke to Jaden, and I remember saying to him, "Sunshine, did you was that you watching that program?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Wow, you really are my son." Because to delve, and I had this proud dad moment, right? That my son is looking deep into our existence and the opportunity that is here today for the children is there's so much information available and it's free, right?
Mm, yeah.
Um, so when my son was born, it I like studying human beings and to have your own human to study
Mm,
and nurture and guide was exciting and frustrating, right? Because my wife and I
mm,
don't see the same, we don't have the same perspective. And that's perfect, right? Because no one perspective is the only perspective. You need to have
mm.
a varied perspective to
Yeah.
get a true view of the world. And,
Yeah, to learn from.
yeah, I mean, look, we know from previous education that look, everything is empty and meaningless until you look at it, right?
Mm,
And it's the
yeah, yeah.
meaning we attach to stuff that determines how we feel about it, right? And these are all things, Jaden, look, as you grow up, there's going to be courses and seminars available to you. And look, we'll share all of those things. And when you're old enough or when you feel like going, or even if you don't feel like going, it's fine, right? There's life will teach you whatever you need to know on the way that you're going to meet people.
Yeah.
Like the person I met on Friday for 3 minutes in a hotel lobby, we
Mm.
connected. Um, and I know this guy will be in my life forever, right? And the only
Oh,
reason we
yeah.
connected is because he had a Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street t-shirt, right? And as I walked past and I saw the t-shirt, I said to him, I said, "Wow, Freddy Krueger, mate." I said, "You're showing your age, mate." Anyway, so he started talking, and I said, "That sounds like a Canadian accent." And he went, "Correct." Anyways, look, he said, "I need to go." And I said, "Well, listen, we didn't have time to exchange details." I said, "Look, my name's Dizzy Taylor, Dizzy with a Y, Taylor with an I. Put it into Google. If
Mm.
we connect, right?" And later that evening, I saw on LinkedIn, I had a message from this guy, right, saying, "Hey, Dizzy,
Amazing.
really nice to meet you. I'd love to bump into you again and let's have a coffee." Anyway,
Love it.
this guy, honestly, Sue, what he does for a living is so. Imagine meeting somebody that says, "This is what I do for a living, but I don't charge anymore because I've made enough money." And I'm like,
Wow.
who does that? You offer your services for nothing
Mm,
because you've
yeah,
already made the money. And I'm like, mate, I really want to spend some time with you. So yesterday I had a coffee with him for 2.5 hours, and he'll be on this because he said, look, Dizzy, however I can help you on your journey. And look, the vision and the journey I have from 50 days ago to now, like I
yeah.
said, it's expanded to an astronomical level, right? The stuff I plan
Amazing.
on doing now is so ridiculous. I can't even talk about it. But look, I
Yeah.
know time's ticking. Look, any bit of advice for Jaden that you'd like to give?
Yeah, I think what I want to say is that what I've seen of you, Dizzy, as well, is that, seeing you in Dubai, you're now living your life for you. Yeah, that doesn't mean you're not living your life for Jaden and Jay and your family or whatever, but you actually have now started living life for you as well. Like you're inside out, really, like your fire is burning inside of you where you really want to have your true self-expression. And I've really seen that from you since you've been in Dubai. And what I want to say to Jaden is that the more connected you are with what you want, not what everyone else wants for you, but what
Mhm.
you want and who you want to be and the things that you want to do in your life, the more your life will flourish and opportunities will come to you, the right people will come to you. But you've got to really stop and get connected with who are you? Like, what's your standard? What kind of a son do you want to be? What kind of a brother do you want to be? What kind of a grandson do you want to be? What kind of a friend do you want to be? Like, really start setting your own standards because when you know who you are, and your purpose in life, then everything else just kind of falls into place. Like the universe just conspires to delight you every day. That's what I
Magic.
wanted to say.
Thank you, super. That's super advice
Pleasure.
from a super lady, a super sister,
Thank you.
super
Thank
daughter,
you.
super mum, and a super granddaughter, whatever you choose to be. Look, Sunshine, this is your daddy in Dubai, day 50. And for those of you that aren't my son and that are watching this, click on like, click on subscribe. Bless my auntie yesterday. She goes, do I have to pay if I subscribe? She goes, I'm not subscribed. I said, no, subscribe just means you get a notification. I mean, look, I am going to do this every day whilst I'm alive.
Mhm.
Uh, the digital daddy will be sending a message to you, Sunshine, every single day. And I went to the races the other day, Sue. I don't know if I told you, right?
I know. I saw your
Oh
pictures.
my
You're looking
God.
proper dapper.
Listen, as soon as I got there, as we came out of the lift, this guy came up to me and went, mate, you are the best dressed guy here. And as I walked further, somebody
Amazing.
said, you're the best dressed guy. You're the best dressed guy. You're the best dressed guy. And then I was like, what is going on here? And then somebody said to me, did you enter the competition? What competition?
Mm.
So basically, there is a competition every World Cup. But
Oh,
but you have to enter it. When you come in, you got to fill in the form and
yeah.
enter yourself. Anyway, they said you would have won, mate, easy. I would have won 10,000 dirhams
Wow.
and
What?
10,000 air miles on Emirates.
Oh, God.
So
Oh,
look,
well, next time.
next
Next
time, look,
time.
look, and the thing is, I didn't even try. I wasn't trying to win a
Imagine if you tried.
competition.
Yeah.
Imagine
Take
that.
it to the next level. Take it to the next level.
So
Amazing.
I really thank
Love
you
that.
for your contribution to my life and contributing to Jaden's life now, right? Because this is your digital daddy in Dubai, day 50. And I am actually, once this is recorded and uploaded, I now send it to his phone. So he gets a
Oh,
notification to say, listen, if you don't get a chance to speak to me today, you get 20 minutes,
this.
however long this
Yeah.
little session is. But I'm speaking to you every day, right? And you can
Amazing.
repeatedly talk to me as and when you want for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So signing out, super. And
Love it. Thank you so much, Dizzy.
take care,
See
Jaden.
you soon, Jaden. Bye.